Hey guys, it's Kevin Kreider. More than just muscle. How to do a ketogenic diet. First of all, if you don't know what a ketogenic diet is, you can go back to some of my past videos on ketogenic diets. It's a very popular trend going on right now. But I'm not going to share with you the benefits and all that kind of stuff. This is literally just a video on how to do the ketogenic diet if you decide to do one. And I just have to say this, but if you have, please don't do this unless you get a doctor's prescription and okay, clear, and make sure your doctor's good actually, okay? Make sure about that, because you ever hear that joke, what's a doctor with a C average? Still a doctor. All right guys, anyway, I'm not a comedian, that bad joke. First of all, with the ketogenic diet, you wanna have about 80% of your dietary intake from food as fat. That sounds a little gross for you, and you're like, well, how am I gonna get 80% fats for the day? Well, here's the thing, there's lots of oils, there's lots of butters you can take, so enjoy yourself. And now the other thing is you wanna have about 15% actually of your dietary intake can come from protein. If you wanna do a stricter ketogenic diet because you need to get in a higher state of ketosis, I recommend your protein intake being around 10%, maybe even lower, because too much protein can actually make it more difficult for you to be in a ketogenic state, because the insulin will rise a little bit more and it will turn off ketosis a little bit. Now, you want to get your carbohydrates through vegetables. You don't want to cut out vegetables. That's where about like your 5% ratio of carbohydrates are going to come from. I choose things like sauerkraut, broccoli, and cabbage, and I try to stay away from tomatoes because they're a little bit higher in carbohydrates. Now, the thing with the ketogenic diet is, first, I recommend you not trying to lose weight with it in the beginning, because it might just shock your body a little bit too much. Be prepared for what they call a keto flu. A keto flu is basically when you feel like, oh, you're like down in energy and you're basically just not feeling good, and you're like, oh my God, am I getting sick? They call it a keto flu. I also just call it a sugar detox, because here's the thing. Tim Grover, in his book Relentless, basically shared with us, he said, guys, if you take out sugar, every single ounce of sugar in your diet, you're going to get sick. It's that much of a drug. How many other things do you know in your life that if you get rid of something that you actually start to get sick and you get a withdrawal? Drugs and alcohol. Same thing with sugar. If you get rid of sugar, you're gonna have a withdrawal. It's gonna make you feel sick, and that's normal. Your body's detox, refined sugar that is. I'm talking about refined sugar. And Tim Grover even goes to just sugar, period. And what Tim Grover would do is test his trainers and say, well, look, you need to do this sugar cleanse, come back to me in a few days. And he tested them, because if they were not feeling like crap, they were not sugar detoxing, and he wouldn't work with them. He's like, you don't have enough discipline, you can't follow direction, blah, blah, blah. He was very much, I love that. And basically that's what's happening when you have a keto flu. You're just getting rid of sugar. You're sugar detoxing because your carbohydrates are just coming from vegetables. So of course you can't have any sugar. There's no room for it. So you're gonna start feeling flu-like symptoms, so be prepared for that. Now the next thing is you wanna go on MyFitnessPal. And what you wanna do is go on MyFitnessPal, track your food to make sure that you're in the right ratio, and you can click on the buttons for the nutrients and get into the ratios, and it'll come up with it. Do not worry about the calories. For the first 3 to 4 weeks, I recommend not worrying about calories, because here's the thing, you just want to get adjusted to it. You're going to go through a sugar detox, and then you will get into lowering your body fat, but you will lose weight a little bit in the beginning, because you're just totally getting rid of water weight and your muscle glycogen. So of course you're going to lose a little bit of water weight in the beginning. So do that. Those are the two things for doing a ketogenic diet. Next, the thing is, you're going to change your habits a little bit. Instead of going into the restaurant and getting whatever you want, you're gonna have to look at the fattiest foods. I actually recommend, if you're gonna eat chicken, try to eat chicken with like a little bit more butter to get your fat intake higher. And if you're lactose intolerant, do ghee. It's clarified butter and has very little lactose in it. So do clarified ghee or olive oils. Not too much olive oil, because you can get runny diarrhea if you have too much olive oil. Coconut coconut oil and how you can get it. I recommend you having some teas and coffees. All you're trying to do is basically get some medium chain triglycerides into your body, because it shows that it will raise your ketone levels a little bit higher. And same thing with caffeine, so you want to raise your ketones up. And the whole point of a ketogenic diet is to get your ketone bodies up, and that's what will happen if you do medium chain triglycerides and coffee in the morning, or tea, some type of caffeine, and it'll raise your triglyceride levels up, and you won't feel as hungry. You'll feel a little bit more focused. You might get a little agitated a little bit in the beginning. That's normal. Okay, so those are the real 3 things of being in a ketogenic diet. You're gonna have to change the way you grocery shop. I'd get really heavy meats. Instead of 90% ground beef, I'd get like maybe ground chuck, or 80%, because it has a higher fat content, and you wanna save that. Get eggs. You might have to just eat the egg yolks at some point. And what I recommend doing too is getting sardines and olive oil. That'll help you as snacks as you go along. And I wouldn't worry about doing intermittent fasting so much or anything like that. Just try to really work at getting 80% fats into your diet. Very moderate to low protein, and very, very low carbohydrates, because you want to remain in that ketogenic state. All right, that's basically it, guys. I mean, the ketogenic diet's a very simple diet, so I hope you enjoyed this. Leave some comments and questions. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also find more nutrition programs on my website, www.pursuebyKevin.com, or you could just take the free body design tool. It's a survey that you fill out, and it will guide you to that program for you that's customized based off if you want to lose body fat or gain muscle. It has full video courses on nutrition and training as bonuses, all that kind of stuff. So you can take that and it'll guide you to the right thing as well. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next week.